Hi, my name is Trent. I don't know why today's the day, but today's the day where I'm just going to start laying out this whole life I'm living and the stories I'm going through. I've spent my whole life in marketing and branding and building other stories and creating lots of other stories for others, and I'm really comfortable with that. But talking about myself, as you can imagine, is not that easy. It's not something I regularly do, and I am not a photogenic, love the camera guy. I'm usually writing the script or actually be that way, behind the camera, uh, helping somebody else figure out how to do this at a marketing corporate level, nothing filmish. Um, Anyways, here's the few things I'm going to talk about over a series of videos that I'm going to put on this channel. And this is just Trent Dunn, his life, his thoughts, his beliefs. I don't I don't plan on reading comments. I don't know if reading commentary on my personal story is a good idea for my own mental health. I'm going to throw everything out there on the fire and just tell my truth and tell my story. What most people are following my family with right now as regards to my wife's cancer story, which I'm going to summarize real quickly, that we've been in an oral cancer battle. This is year 7. In 2017, my wife's vocal cords were removed. They placed a stoma in her throat for breathing, and she'd already had a G tube in her stomach for all feeding, nutrition, stuff like that. And in an emergency measure during that surgery, we didn't see this coming. Somebody taps me on my shoulder about 6 or 7 hours into a 12-hour surgery and informs me after they tell me she's not dead, which is what I first thought when a surgeon taps you on the shoulder into a surgery. You usually think they're gone. They needed to also take a piece of her jawbone. And that's been the big battle. We've been spent the last couple of years going to Johns Hopkins, working on a rebuilding process. I don't post pictures of my wife currently because she's in that process and she'd rather keep that private. But we are 7 years into cancer, 5 years into a non-verbal marriage. To go further than that, we are a restored marriage. My wife and I had been married for 14 years. There was an affair, a separation, a divorce. The affair was on my part, by the way, just so everybody knows I'm owning all of this. We were legally divorced for almost 3 years through the process of coming out of the religion of our upbringing, which was Mormon. We found a new faith, a new path. We both went into some counseling, redirected our own hearts and minds and souls, and somewhere in the process ended up rejoining, restoring our family. And it's been a miracle. And the exclamation point on that story is always that we kept our anniversary date. So yes, my wife and I got married on July 15th, 1994, and then we remarried after a 2009 divorce. We remarried July 15th, 2012. Cancer showed up in 2016. And we are still together, better than ever, nonverbal or otherwise. Our walk is very different. Our belief system is different. Our household is different. How we've raised our son is different. We have an amazing son who is his own success story and recently married man. We couldn't be more proud of him and what he's been through. And to consider that he was a junior in high school when his mom gets cancer, that's a tough way to go through those teen years, right? We never forget that part of the story is everybody that's involved. We have an amazing tribe around us. We have an amazing circle. In the future, I'll probably talk about a lot of those individual things, what it's like to be in a marriage and fighting cancer, what it's like having a nonverbal marriage is a big conversation piece for a lot of people. I get a lot of questions about that, and all I can tell you is that it's a belief of ours that everything happens in proportion, whether God, universe, creator, whatever words you want to use, I'm happy with, and I'm fine using. All gods are good gods as long as they are kindness and peace. And I will say that there's a proportional energy to this universe of ours, and for every deep, terrible, low in the valley moment we've had through cancer, surgeries, chemos, radiations. This woman has just been through all of it. The loss of her vocal cords, you just can't imagine what that means to anybody, much less a woman who had professional singing abilities and aspirations her whole life. Where was I going with this? Oh, the flip side is that this universe of ours also delivers an equally proportionate very high peak. And so while some people may look at our marriage and our family and see tragedy and difficulty and, oh, I feel so badly for them, pity maybe even, I don't know. But I will tell you that we have some really beautiful moments, very rare air moments for us. We believe that we fly higher than a lot of couples do because we have had to ascend a lot of the normal marital relational commitment things through our restoration of our marriage, through coming back together and rebuilding trust and loyalty and commitment. And just, I mean, we hated each other for a couple of years. There's no doubt about it. An underlying underpinning love for somebody who you had a child with and spent those years with, but neither one of us wanted to be back together. That wasn't something we kept in our back pockets. It just literally happened. It was a movement of God, and I'll get into it in a much deeper way in another future video. But I'm 6 minutes in. I wanted to keep this short. I will inject humor into everything. I am a 54-year-old secret wannabe stand-up comedian. I have probably an hour of material. Someday, if I get brave enough to ever stand and perform it, I'll film it and add it to this channel. But right now, my focus and my conversation with this channel is the journey and the path, and honoring my wife through this, honoring the journey, and making sure that I am I'm giving truth back to the honor of the privilege of this path, and the caregiver side of it, the faith building side of it, and the not mentoring side, but anything I can share from those journeys and from those paths. I feel like I'm obligated. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to extend that message other than to do this video and figure that out. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm not happy about it, sort of, because I'm nervous and I don't want a bunch of feedback and look how fat and bald he is or whatever. But I'm self-aware, so no physical commentary needed. If I used to have a ton of hair, I still have hair, but I mean, come on, it ain't gonna last a lot longer. I also collect hats. Hats are going to be a big topic for me. I've collected hundreds and hundreds of hats over my life. I don't keep all of them, but I almost always have enough hats for a new hat every day of the year for a year and a half around in my collection. I will post pictures of hats that I get and receive, small business hats, obscure hats. This is my high school from Enid, Oklahoma, Enid Plainsman. I wore number 71. Word to a guy named Brooksy. And my hats are on Instagram and Twitter. I'm not promoting, but my Instagram and Twitter hat channel is called Hatvertisement, just like advertisement, but Hatvertisement on Instagram and Twitter. Feel free to follow or like it, just because I think hats rock. That's it. My name is Trent, and I'm going to keep doing this.